Hello, everybody. Jason up, New Age Revolution Cave for this beautiful Saturday. As you know, my favorite day of the week. That's right. It's even more. That's not going to be there long. We'll get to that in a moment. My nose is running because I was sitting in the garage just now, freezing, enjoying the intense, exceptionally exciting Notre Dame victory over USC. 2 back-to-back 99-yard touchdown interception returns to close the game. Insane. Anyway, I'm so excited. The trip is in 4 days. We do have some devastating snow in Pennsylvania. And obviously we go through Pennsylvania and everybody's freaking out a little bit. They've closed the thruway at the New York-Pennsylvania line. Thankfully, we don't take the thruway. And we are about 300 miles away from the bad part of Pennsylvania. Erie is apparently under snow right now, buried. We don't go anywhere near Erie, thankfully. So I'm not worried about it. It's going to be great. I will get us there no matter what. If I have to strap everybody on my back and snowshoe through the wilderness, drinking our own urine to survive, we will make it through Pennsylvania and on to Florida. So that's great. That's coming up. All right. So here's the deal. Listen. The room, when we did the last remodel, the wrestling remodel, I said, look, that's it. That's it. I'm good. I had the Trinitron down here. Got the couch that I'm sitting on now. Everything was fine. Look, things change. Life changes. Things change. So, in the new year, I think I have something in my tooth. In the new year, early into the new year, as the channel picks up steam again, there will be yet another room remodel. I know Mr. Watson is freaking out right now, but it'll be okay. It's not an entire room remodel. Not at all. It's very simple. As I expand the wrestling stuff into the Hasbro line now, and really we're doing Series 1, right? We're doing Series 1 Hasbros. I don't anticipate getting a desire to do any more than Series 1. I really don't. But the question, as I started bringing some stuff up to the garage, which looks fantastic right now, by the way. As I started bringing stuff up to the garage, I thought, well, what am I going to collect? Are my collection days over? Is there anything that I care about? And so I decided to go after He-Man Series 1, including Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain and a couple of vehicles, and then a couple of additional figures like Ram Man and Orko, because they just belong with Series 1. And then a while ago, somebody on the channel gave the idea, or I gave the idea. No, I know what it is. I was watching other people's collections, which is dangerous, very dangerous. Other people's collections on YouTube, and I saw people with a lot more room than I were doing like diorama style displays. They were making an entire sewer underground play area for their Turtles collection. They were doing an entire New York City street scene for their Ghostbusters collection. G.I. Joe collections were insane. I mean, it was like an entire room and a half dedicated to tons of G.I. Joe setups. And I thought, well, that's pretty awesome. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to focus in the new year on setting up display areas for Masters of the Universe, Ghostbusters, and G.I. Joe, of all things, G.I. Joe. Because that's where my interest lies. Okay, I'm not going to collect Mask. I'm not going to collect Sectars. I'm not going to collect Brave Star or Cops. I'm just not. The three lines that I have any love for would be He-Man, G.I. Joe, and Ghostbusters. So I'm going to set up little displays, little dioramas all around the room of those three items. And I've got table ideas, I've got construction ideas. I might build a couple of sets and paint them accordingly. I don't know. It's going to be fun. And so that will be, because when I did the garage and I packed a lot of stuff away, I packed a lot of stuff away. And all I really have down here, aside from wrestling, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, and soon to be He-Man, I don't have anything. I have some of the 80's stuff there. I have the 80's stuff wall. And then I've got some Freddy Krueger stuff. That's about it. And then the carded wall behind me. I don't have doodads and whatnots anymore around the room. Those are either in the garage or packed away. So I have space to dedicate to three specific toy lines. And Ghostbusters I kind of did. I'll show you. Ghostbusters I did. This is how I completed this little area. And this little section was going to be for Masters of the Universe. I was going to put another table here and then do up Masters of the Universe. But then we have the G.I. Joe section with, unfortunately, this stuff just tossed on the floor, figures just standing boringly on the shelf. And I've decided I don't want that. I have not enjoyed my I can't do it much down here this time of year because the Christmas presents and stuff are down here, but I've enjoyed looking at the Ghostbusters figures more than I ever have since setting them up in like these little play poses. I've not enjoyed those figures at all until now, because they're visible. And the same thing is happening with G.I. Joe. I mean, G.I. Joe is just rotting in that corner. And, one of the greatest play sets of all time is just sitting there on the floor. So I don't want to do that. I want those two lines and soon to be third line with Masters of the Universe. I want them on display. The wrestling section I'm fine with. That's perfectly fine. I don't need to have, play setups because I play with those figures anyway. So I don't need, they're fine on display. They look great. But I think the other stuff I'm going to display. So that's going to come in the new year. And that'll make some changes down here. And I won't tell you entirely, but I might end up changing the seating down here to make room for more displays. So obviously the Zenith needs to be used, but do I need this big old couch down here? And I know that was like a whole thing. I got to find a couch. I'm such a hypocrite. Like, I can just go back and forth with my own arguments. Like I said, all I wanted this room to be was a place for me to sit and watch the Zenith. And now I'm thinking like, well, let me take down the couch so that I can put up more displays. I don't know. It honestly, and who cares, right? It's honestly just an ongoing work in progress for me. Really. It's just an ongoing, like, this is like a hobby. So it's not hurting anybody for me to change my room and you get to watch it. So anyway, I don't know what we're going to do about the seating, but 3 focus points coming in the new year: Masters of the Universe setup. We've got the Ghostbusters. We'll set it up a little differently, and then one that I'm very excited about. All those little GI Joe figures. They're gonna be shelved. They're gonna be on shelves as they are now. But some of the figures I'm gonna pull onto a tabletop with the bases and a couple of vehicles. Maybe put them in some action poses, and then I can really, really, have them displayed the way I think they look the best when they're in action. So that's what's going to come in the new year for the channel. I've also been throwing some things in my eBay watch list just for whatever sake, because I've been starting to want to grab some more of these, the AWA Remcos. They are obtainable. The Black series, the Grudge Match series, obtainable, sure, if you want to spend $300-400, but the Road Warrior, there's a Road Warriors 3-pack with Paul Ellering in my watch list that's like $200 with a best offer. So, if I was just going to spend some money, I could get some more of these Remcos. I need the not the Fantastics, the Fabulous ones. I need the Fabulous ones, and I desperately want Greg Gagne and Jim Brunzell. Desperately. I desperately want the Fabulous ones and Gagne and Brunzell. What was their team name? High Flyers. High Flyers. I desperately want those. All right, so there you go. There's the news for the new year. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again, but it's not gonna be messy. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. We're just gonna have a fun little room remodel again. That's right, Watson. I'm gonna do it again, and you're gonna watch it and you're gonna enjoy it. We'll see you all next time. Good night now.